What I just did a while ago, or the three clips that I've just posted now, they were all what you call a hazard guess. Me let me go home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go sit down. Just go sit down. Go sit down. That's what one woman used to say. The title of this one is going to be the unity across continents, bringing African diaspora. The second one is coordinating for change, African Solidarity Corps, and from oppressing of unity, global African resolve. That's what I was. That's the myth of this breakers today. Okay, as I was saying at the very beginning, I kept coming from my head because I'm no longer coming from my heart. I'm coming from my head now. Usually it's come from my heart, but now I'm coming from my head. So when I'm coming from my head, most of the things I'm going to be saying, I need to have it where I can document them. I am going to start by introducing myself again and over and over and again. But the problem is the problem I was trying to address in the last three videos is the historical oppression faced by people of African descent, including being thrown under the bus. The issue is a little bit like it doesn't even exist no more because of how far back this thing has been with us. Especially if you look at it from the angle that even though it's been with us, a lot of us are not that in any way different from the next neighbor, because a lot of us are doing better, and a lot of us are doing, few of us are doing better, just like in the same area of their people too. A few of them are doing better, and a lot of them ain't doing that good. But in the middle there are some people who call the shots that we need to be able to address. For example, do you know, let's say like there was a basketball brother who kneeled down to address police brutality. They did not sign him up till now. But the reason they didn't do that is because of the fact that the ticket holders are predominantly the middle class there. And in that middle class there are so much middle class there that are the ticket holders that if any team sign them, they might lose that people, that middle class that are holding that the ticket holders. That's the reason why they couldn't sign him, because they're afraid. All the billionaires who owns all the clubs are afraid to go and sign him. And as I'm even finding out yesterday, that I was reading in my archives, I found out that there was a brother who was who was going to go play in New York. So when they got them into certain hotel, that brother did not go into that hotel. He wanted to go stay in another because he believes that the hotel that he will go stay, that's where he can make a difference. It's like the kneeling down that was out there in the public, but he did this one in a solo way. So when I based on stuff like that, that's the two examples I just gave to you. The ticket holders are not going to allow the billionaire to sign him up. That's why they didn't sign him up. And that to me It's a shame, because at the time when it came up, I was following it just like I'm currently following the current presidential race now, in which I'm shooting for Biden to become president, because I need to say it on all my recording that I want Biden to become president. I want Biden to win his second term, because the only thing that I think Biden has against him is the same thing that his predecessor had against him. The predecessor hasn't had a record when Biden came in to run against him. So the record is what Biden capitalized on and won. If the person that was currently running, if the person that is currently running was a woman, Biden wouldn't have had a chance at all. If Nikki Haley was one running against Biden, Nikki Haley would have been able to run on his record. At this point in time, we know that now that Biden has a record. We know that Trump has a record. So this is going to be where we think, if there is God, why don't you do your magic? Why don't you allow, we're going to decide between the good and evil at this point in time, or the two fringe thinkers, far right and far left. Both of them have records that they can depend on. But we do know that in Biden's administration, the only problem they have, they never thought they were going to have that problem, is the fact that Ukraine went to war there, and the whole money that they would have spent has gone into Ukraine. That was in defense of America. The other one had a problem. The other one had a problem with the COVID-19, in which almost more than 1 million people died in the United States. Not only having that problem, he pushing his agenda a little bit more futuristic. He did not really care about the democratic, just like he wanted that boy over there to win, so that he can be able to say that his tribe won. That's what he was shooting for. His tribal won, based on the misogynistic, based on the how far back when we got thrown under the bus. He wants that to repeat itself. He wants history to repeat itself. That's my take on it. So I think I've given you I've painted the problem situation. The solution is to call for Africa, within Africa, to recognize the need for coordination with African America. That's what I said in my first recording. Unless people in Africa, who are inside Africa, that have never left Africa, that has been believed that the lies that they believe in, unless the sleeping dog lies, unless they change their trajectory, things are never going to ever change. I cannot overemphasize that. I think that's going to be, but the awareness is coming on. And I was even going to ask a question, which I'm going to ask maybe very soon. Are there people in the diasporans of the Americans that are working against the American interest abroad? I can even just answer that. The only people that are working against American interest abroad are solid sovereignty, like North Korea, the Kremlin, the Mulans. Under the Mulans themselves, these are solid states. But at the same time, too, we have what you call an underlying fighters, like ISS fighters. They are just there. They are taking advantage of. They have what you call what you call the orthodoxy of the Islam, and they have unorthodoxy of the Islam. So there's a war there. And in terms of the Israelites, the Westerners are defending them because they are a plant, they are a mole inside the bigger wall of the Muslim system there. I'm very, very sure that it's going to take a while for us to be able to have a peace effort in that region. Let there be peace in the Middle East. That's what I can say. Okay. He said, what are the solutions? I already gave you one. Emphasize the unity, collaboration as essential for overcoming these changes. He said, share a personal brief anecdote about your own journey, perhaps referencing the loss of father. Like I was saying at the very beginning, if my dad was here, I don't know what could have happened. And I've written open edge on that, and I've written a paper in that to my professor that how he was alive, what would I have done? What he would have done was that I could have been able to put on medication, and I would have gotten spoiled, where I become bratty. And becoming bratty, if I can find my way in the long run, I was going to be able to become what you call an outcast and start instituting how I can, after hanging out with Dad, I could have just started becoming bratty, and in the long run, I was going to be the roadmap that a lot of people have traveled on that has ended them getting bad, because I wouldn't have ended in the area in which I was saying in my last recording. I said that there's a platform that I listen to. The person that perpetrated that platform, or what's called the